All right, so I'm going to do the word problems in the notes that I've attached, and let's take a look at the first problem. Okay, it says find the compound amount of $5,000 after 3 years, earning 6% annual interest if it is compounded with the given frequency. All right, so there's only really 3 formulas, right? If you want to count it as 4, if you want to differentiate between growth and decay, you can count it as 4 formulas. And the key is to figure out which formula or equation to use, right? And the key word right there is this given frequency. And so if they give you a formula or a problem that has a given frequency, you want to use this formula, right? Y is equal to A. In fact, in the notes, I wrote it as using Y, right? Or you can say Y is equal to A, 1 plus R over N to the NT. Okay, so either one is fine, but the key word is the given frequency. Okay, so for part A, right, if it's compounded annually, N is going to equal 1, right? And in the problem, the initial amount, P, is going to be $5,000. The time is 3 years, and the rate as a decimal is going to be 0.006. Okay. And that's pretty much it. You're just plugging this into the equation. So A is equal to 5,000, 1 plus, actually, I'm sorry. This should be not 0.006. It should be 0.06. Okay. 1 plus 0.06 over N raised to the NT, 1 times 3. Okay, so if you plug this in your calculator, you should get the answer that I wrote in the notes. 5,000 times 1.06 raised to the third power. You're going to get $5,955. $5,955.08. Okay, so for part B, right, the only thing that changes is semi-annually, N is equal to 2, right? That's the only thing that changes. So again, you're just plugging it into the equation. 5,000 times 1 plus 0.06 over 2, N times T, and N in this case is 2, 3, T is equal to 3, which is 6. And if you evaluate, you should get 5,970.26. Okay, so on a quiz or test, I'd say round to the nearest 10th or 100th. In this case, I rounded to the nearest 100. Okay, so everything else is identical. Okay, so N is equal to, for monthly, N is going to equal 12. And then for part D, right, weekly, I don't expect you to know how many weeks are there in a year. I will probably tell you on a test. We'll just say N is 52. Okay, so you guys can try these on your own and see if you get the answer I wrote out in the notes. All right, so moving on. Problem number 2 says find the present value, parentheses, initial value, of $20,000 due in 8.5 years, earning 6% annual interest. Keyword right there, compounded monthly. Okay, so again, I'm still going to use this formula. This time I'll just use A. 1 plus R over N to the NT, right? And they want us to find what this is, question mark. How do I know that's what they want us to find? Because this is your initial value or your present value. So $20,000 is going to be my final amount. And my rate as a decimal is going to be 0.06. Okay, so it just happens to be the rate for the first 2 problems are the same. It does not mean it's always going to be 6%. Compounded monthly, we know N is 12, right? And over here you have 12 times 8.5. 8.5 is my number of years. Okay, so all I need to do is get A by itself, right? Take A take 20,000 and divide by whatever you get for this mess. 1 plus 0.06 over 12 times 12 to the 12 times 8.5. All right, so if you solve for A, use your calculator, you'll get $12,025. All right, so a couple of suggestions on the on entering it on your calculator. If you can't enter it all in one line, what I would do is I would just evaluate, what 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12 is, and then raise it to the 12 times 8.5, and then record it each time, write it down on your paper. That's if you are having trouble evaluating this on your calculator. Okay. All right, so moving on. Number 3. Find the compound amount of $5,000 after 8 years, earning 12% annual interest, compounded continuously. Okay, so keyword right there is continuously, right? And so you're going to use A PERT. Okay, A equals PE to the RT. And this one is just a straight plug-in. Okay, $5,000 is the initial amount. The rate is 12%, so 0.12. And the time in this case is 8. And you can evaluate the approximate amount. You're going to get $13,058.48. All right, so again, the key word or the key to doing exponential word problems is to figure out what equation you're going to use. Typically, they'll say compounded monthly, compounded continuously, or it might not even say compounded. In that case, you would have to use your exponential growth and decay formula.